Friends, today we're going to explain the 2025 released film Predator Badlands. This movie is completely filled with action, thrill, and suspense. The story is about an alien who has to go through many dangerous challenges to prove himself. But in this journey, his biggest enemy is not anyone else, but his own father. Now the question is, will this alien be able to prove himself, or will such a dangerous situation come before him that he might have to lose his life? To know the answer, watch the video till the end. So, at the beginning of the movie, we see a planet called Yorja Prime, but this is not an ordinary planet. The aliens living here are called predators. This species had a very strict rule. Weak predators had no right to live here. There is no place for the weak on this planet, no matter if he's the king's son. If a predator can't prove his capability, his own tribe members kill him. Now, the main character of this movie, Dek, was a weak predator. Actually, Dek was the son of Nzor, the king of his tribe, but because of his weakness, Nzor was not willing to acknowledge him as a son. In this shame and anger, the king orders his other son, Quay, to kill Dek. After this, Quay finds Dek and attacks him. Dek was also responding to his brother's attack with full force, but Quay was much more powerful than him. He becomes invisible and starts attacking Dek, while Dek doesn't have the power to become invisible because this power is only given to strong predators. After a long fight, Dek finally loses to Quay, but despite this, Quay doesn't kill him. Actually, Quay doesn't want to kill his brother Dek. He's training him so that Dek can prove his capability in front of their father. When Quay feels that Dek is ready, he brings him to his spaceship, where there are many dangerous weapons in the spaceship. Quay tells Dek that your training is now complete. Now you have to go to planet Jenna and cut the throat of a monster named Kalisk and bring it back. Kalisk is not an ordinary monster. So far, even the most powerful predator hasn't been able to kill him. Even hearing his name makes all predators tremble. Even our father, the king of the tribe Nzor, is afraid of Kalisk. Killing that monster was beyond their capability. Some say Kalisk is the most powerful creature in the universe. If you return with Kalisk's head, the whole tribe will bow before you, and father will also forgive your punishment. Upon hearing this, Dek also decides that he will prove himself by bringing that monster's head. While these two were still talking, their father, Nzor, arrives. Seeing Dek alive, Nzor becomes furious with Quay because he had sent Quay here to kill Dek. Then Quay tells his father that we should give Dek one last chance. After all, he's your son. But Nzor clearly says that he doesn't consider this weak predator his child. According to him, Dek is only worthy of death. Saying this, Nzor captures Dek with his power and orders Quay to slit his throat. Following his father's orders, Quay moves forward, but he doesn't kill Dek. Instead, he frees him and pushes him into the spaceship and locks the ship from his handheld control. Nzor becomes enraged by Quay's action and starts beating him brutally. During this, one of Quay's hands is cut off. Seeing all this, Dek feels very bad inside because all this is happening because of him. Now, Quay has two paths before him. Either he picks up his sword and fights his father, or he launches the ship from the control on his cut hand. But instead of saving himself, Quay thinks about saving Dek. In the meantime, Nzor runs his sword through Quay, but despite this, Quay doesn't lose courage and finally presses the button, which launches the ship. Just then, Nzor catches Quay and slits his throat, and Quay dies right there. Then, after a long journey, Dek finally reaches planet Jenna. But before landing on the planet, his spaceship is badly damaged. Now, to avoid crash landing, Dek ejects his seat and somehow manages to land on the planet. Now, while Dek was preparing his weapons to hunt Kalisk, a carnivorous tree suddenly makes his weapons disappear with its vines and tries to kill him by choking him. Luckily, Dek had his sword, with which he starts cutting those vines. But the number of vines was too much, and fighting all of them at once became impossible for him. Finally, Dek cuts through the vines and escapes and gets out of their grip. During this fight, Dek was also badly injured, so he goes to the riverside and starts healing his wounds. During this, he notices some insects. As soon as he catches them, they blast. Seeing this, Dek realizes that this is no ordinary planet. Even the smallest creature present here was extremely dangerous. Then, ignoring all that, Dek moves ahead, where he sees some strange thorn-bearing plants on the way, which would bloom at the slightest movement. Dek was avoiding them and moving ahead when he sees a girl trapped in the trees, calling out for help. But Dek doesn't pay much attention to her and keeps moving forward. Suddenly, a dragon comes from the sky and throws stones at the thorn-bearing plants. The stone movement causes one plant to burst, and its sharp thorns spread in all directions, which the girl tells Deck. These are not ordinary thorns, they're poisonous thorns, and if they hit you once, you'll pass out. Actually, this was the dragon's trick. It was deliberately throwing stones at those plants, so its thorns would pierce Deck, and he would lose consciousness. That dragon hunts its prey this way, making them unconscious before attacking them. Deck was just understanding all this when the dragon comes from the sky again and throws several stones at those plants, causing all of them to burst, and one of those poisonous thorns pierces Deck. Now slowly, unconsciousness starts to overcome Deck. At that, the girl says that I can save you, but I'll need a weapon to get free from here. Now, just before losing consciousness, Deck pulls out one of his weapons and throws it towards her. Meanwhile, seeing Deck unconscious, the dragon starts moving towards him, but before it can do anything, the girl comes and kills that dragon. After some time, when Deck regains consciousness, he's very surprised to see the girl in front of him because half of the girl's body was broken. On this, the girl tells him that her name is Thea and she's not a human but an android, a robot made by Weyland-Yutani Corporation. Thea goes on to explain that the company sent her and her sister Tessa on this planet with a robot team for research. They've been researching on this planet for the past 2 years. When Deck asks, Thea tells him that her condition is because of Kalisk. A few days ago, she and her team encountered Kalisk, in which half her body was damaged and her sister Tessa was also badly damaged. Thea further explains that she can repair herself. Before that, the dragon mistook her for a human and brought her here, and when it couldn't eat her metal body, it threw me in the bushes, and I got stuck there. Thea tells him that she knows you've come here to hunt Kalisk. Many predators have come here before you, but all have been badly killed by Kalisk. Thea says that if Deck wants, she can take him to Kalisk, but in return, you'll have to take me to my camp because half of my body is there, and I want to reconnect it with myself. Initially, Deck refuses this, but he was completely unfamiliar with this planet. So reluctantly, he has to accept Thea's help. After this, Deck picks up Thea and moves forward. Thea was showing him the way, and he was moving forward. But carrying Thea wasn't easy, so Deck ties her to his back with the help of vines. As he moves forward, Thea tells him several things related to this planet and Kalisk. After this, the story turns in another direction, where we see Thea's sister, another android made by Weyland-Yutani Corporation, Tessa. Tessa was badly damaged and was returning to her base to repair herself. This base was built on this very planet. During this time, the company learns that Tessa has failed in her mission. So the company warns her and clearly says that if she fails in her mission this time too, she will be deactivated. After this, Tessa asks the system about Thea, to which the AI system tells her that Thea is currently with a predator and he's taking her somewhere. Tessa didn't know that Thea had gone with him of her own will, so she thinks Deck is a major threat to them. On the other side, by evening, they've made progress. So Deck and Thea stop at one place for the night. During this, Thea starts telling him about herself. She says that she and her team came to this planet 2 years ago and have been researching ever since. Thea also tells him that the company has given emotions to her and her sister, so they can understand things better. But listening to Thea's words, Deck's eyes start to close. As soon as morning comes, they resume their journey. They reach an open, grassy field. Then Thea tells him that these are not ordinary grasses, but thorny grasses. Its edge was so sharp that no one could cross it. During this, Deck sees a large creature that looks like an elephant peacefully eating this grass. Thea tells him that this creature's name is Bison, and if it gets angry, it could chew anyone raw. While these two were still talking, a monkey suddenly appears. But Thea also didn't know about this monkey. She had seen this monkey for the first time in 2 years. As soon as the monkey makes a sound, Bison's eyes fall on the two of them, and it starts rushing towards them. Seeing it come, Deck starts running, but Bison wasn't ready to let go of the chase. Finally, in anger, Deck uses his sword on it and cuts the bison into 2 pieces with 1 strike. But these people haven't completely gotten out of this trouble when another danger comes after them. A giant creature that looks like a spider suddenly catches both of them and puts them in its mouth, and just as it was about to eat them, that monkey jumps into its mouth, where the monkey's skin is so strong that the creature's teeth break. As soon as its teeth break, it releases Deck and Thea and goes straight after the monkey because the monkey had saved their lives. So Deck also decides to help it. He climbs a tree and jumps on the creature, piercing his sword into it and killing it too, so the monkey survives near death. After this, the story goes in Tessa's direction, where she was moving forward with her team of synthetic robots. On the way, she finds that same ejected seat that Dek used to land on this planet. Just as Tessa is looking at that seat, the carnivorous tree suddenly attacks her from behind. But Tessa and her companions completely destroy those trees with their weapons. This makes it clear that Tessa's behavior was quite aggressive. Moving forward, Tessa also finds Dek's crashed spaceship. When she goes inside, she finds several dangerous weapons from the Predator cache. Among these weapons was a bomb that would freeze things like ice when it exploded. After this, we see a night scene where Dek and Thea are at one place cooking bison meat. The monkey had also come with them. Then Dek gives the monkey some bison meat to eat, but the monkey actually spits on him. Seeing this, Dek gets very angry. Then Thea explains to him that maybe this is his way of making friends. Hearing this, Dek becomes a little emotional and says that I don't want to make friends with anyone. My friend was my brother, whom our own father brutally killed. Dek further says that he won't let his brother's sacrifice go in vain. He will prove himself and will definitely avenge his brother's death. While sleeping at night, the monkey imitates Dek exactly. Seeing this, Thea starts laughing and names the monkey Bud. Now that monkey had also become a good friend of theirs. After morning, Dek leaves that monkey there and moves forward with Thea. After walking quite far, they finally reach Thea's camp. This was the place where Kalisk had attacked Thea. When they search there, they find Thea's broken legs. Thea takes them to her lab and activates the legs, slowly reattaching them to her body. After this, Thea tells Dek a truth. She says that I lied to you. They didn't come here to research, but to capture Kalisk. For the past 2 years, they've been trying to capture Kalisk, but she hasn't come under their control. They also suffered this condition while trying to capture Kalisk. Thea further says that Dek should leave here now because the signal of his presence has reached Tessa. If she finds out you're here, she'll capture you too. But Dek clearly says that he won't leave without killing Kalisk. At that, Thea says that if he wants to stay alive, get the idea of killing Kalisk out of your mind, because killing Kalisk is impossible. According to her, Dek can never kill Kalisk. Hearing this, Dek gets extremely angry. He tells Thea that you've taken advantage of me. You wanted to deceive me and steal my prey. Dek clearly says that no matter what happens, he will kill Kalisk. Saying this, Dek leaves the lab. Now to call Kalisk there, Dek causes an explosion in the gasoline stored there. As soon as Kalisk hears the loud sound of the explosion, he actually comes there and roars and attacks Dek. Dek also doesn't back down and clashes with all his might. At one point, he cuts off Kalisk's tail with his sword. But Dek is shocked when his cut tail reattaches itself and Kalisk attacks him again. Now in the fight between the two, Thea can't even reattach her legs. After that, Dek cleverly traps Kalisk's tail in a chamber and takes advantage of that moment to cut straight through his throat. Dek thinks Kalisk is now dead, but the very next moment, his cut head reattaches. Seeing this, Dek is horrified. Kalisk is about to grab and eat Dek when suddenly it stops. It smells a strange smell coming from Dek's body and doesn't kill him. We'll learn why Kalisk did this later. Just then, Tessa arrives. She throws the special bomb she got from Dek's spaceship towards them. As soon as the bomb explodes, both Kalisk and Dek freeze like ice. After this, Tessa starts taking both of them to her base. Now they've captured Kalisk, but Dek is also bound with machines. Actually, Tessa wanted to experiment on Dek too. After this, Tessa goes to Thea. Thea had shut down during the fight, so Tessa takes her data and reactivates her. As soon as she regains consciousness, Tessa tells her that they've captured Kalisk. Actually, their company wanted to research Kalisk to find out how he heals himself. If this mystery was understood, the future of humans could completely change. Then Tessa starts torturing Dek by shocking him. Seeing this, Thea stops her from doing it. But when Tessa doesn't listen to her, Thea herself turns off the machine. Thea says that when she was in trouble, Dek saved her life. Dek is not like other predators. He's a good predator. Thea further says that their mission was not to capture Dek, but to capture Kalisk, which is now captured, so let Dek go. Hearing this, Tessa becomes extremely angry. She tells Thea that we've taken the data we needed from you. Now we don't need you anymore. After this, Tessa calls her synthetic robots and orders them torture Dek and extract all information about his weapons from him, and then deactivate Thea permanently. After Tessa leaves, a synthetic robot starts interrogating Dek about the weapons kept there as per her orders. During this, the robot picks up a bomb kept there, the remote of which was with Thea. Seeing this, Dek signals Thea to press that button. As soon as Thea presses that button, the bomb explodes along with that synthetic robot. Before the other synthetic robots can arrive, Thea frees Dek and opens the ship's door to get him out of there. Dek runs and falls straight into a waterfall below, while from above, Tessa just watches him leave. After this, Dek comes out of the water and somehow reaches his spaceship, where after a lot of effort, he repairs the ship and treats his wounds. Now Dek starts thinking about saving Thea, but Tessa has taken all his weapons with her. So Dek starts making new weapons from things on that planet. First, he extracts those thorny grasses, then takes the teeth from the elephant-like creature he had hunted. After this, he keeps dangerous creatures that live near water and also collects thorny plants and exploding insects. After this, Dek heads towards the lab, where Thea's legs were. Then he notices that bird sitting sadly near Kalisk's footprints. From this, Dek realizes that what they thought was a monkey was actually Kalisk's baby. That baby had been with Dek the previous night. That's why his scent had stuck to Dek, and that's why Kalisk didn't kill Dek even when he had the chance. Now, just like the baby had spit on Dek to make a friend, Dek also spits on him and makes him his friend. After this, Dek goes to the lab, and as soon as he activates Thea's legs, they start moving on their own towards Thea's location. Dek and Bud start following those legs. While following, they reach the base. As soon as they enter the base, Dek attacks the synthetic robots. With the help of his handmade weapons, he destroys all the robots one by one. In this fight, Bud was also fully helping Dek. Here we learn that Bud is also extremely powerful like his mother. Now Thea's legs reach her, but then two synthetic robots see the legs. But Thea's legs are now within her control range. She controls her legs and kills both synthetic robots. After this, Thea finally reattaches her legs to her body. At that moment, Dek also arrives. When Thea finds out that Dek has come to save her, she feels very happy inside. After this, Dek tells her that now they have to free Kalisk. Hearing this, Thea is surprised and asks, "Do you still want to kill Kalisk?" To this, Dek says that he no longer wants to kill Kalisk. He tells Thea the whole truth that what they thought was a monkey was actually Kalisk's baby. Dek says that for that baby, they have to get Kalisk out alive. Hearing this, Thea also agrees with him. Meanwhile, outside, Tessa is preparing to take Kalisk to Earth, but at that moment, Dek intentionally sets off the emergency alarm. As soon as the alarm sounds, the synthetic robots standing outside become alert and start rushing forward. Tessa immediately realizes this must be Dek's trick, so she goes to arrange something. Meanwhile, as the synthetic robots move forward, they see Dek sitting somewhere. Seeing him, they move towards him, but they had no idea that Dek had already laid a trap for them. Suddenly, the insects hidden in the ground start exploding one after another. With loud explosions, the synthetic robots are destroyed one by one. Then Tessa arrives in a heavy robotic suit and attacks Dek directly. That robotic suit was quite advanced, while Dek had no weapons at that moment. Because of this, he was losing against the robot. Meanwhile, in this chaos, Thea takes the opportunity to start freeing Kalisk, but then a synthetic robot arrives. Seeing it, Thea pretends to be Tessa and talks to it. Initially, the robot is fooled, but as soon as its eyes fall on Bud standing behind, it gets suspicious. Before it can understand anything, Thea kills it and frees Kalisk. On the other side, Tessa is now about to kill Dek, but at that exact moment, Kalisk arrives and directly attacks Tessa's robotic suit. With one powerful blow after another, it completely destroys the robot and finally swallows Tessa alive. After this, Kalisk meets his baby. Seeing his baby, he becomes very happy. He considers Dek not as his enemy, but as his friend and includes him with him. But then Kalisk starts feeling something strange inside him. Actually, Tessa was still alive inside Kalisk's stomach, and at that moment, she detonates that bomb from inside, and with a loud explosion, Kalisk is killed right there. After the explosion, Tessa comes out of Kalisk's body and goes straight to kill Thea. But Dek comes from behind and kills Tessa with one strike and takes her weapon. The angry Bud separates Tessa's head from her body. After this, Thea says that now your mission is complete, but Dek says that my final stop is still remaining. After this, Dek returns to his planet and places Tessa's severed head in front of his father Nzor instead of Kalisk's head and proves that he is not a weak predator. But Nzor thinks that Dek is trying to fool him by showing some ordinary creature's head. In anger, Nzor orders his soldiers to kill Dek, but Dek destroys all the soldiers in one blow. Now, to avenge his brother's death, Dek attacks his father directly. Nzor also clashes with him, and a fierce battle begins between them. In this fight, Dek injures Nzor quite badly. Seeing himself weakened, Nzor becomes invisible and starts attacking Dek from hiding. Because of becoming invisible, Nzor starts overpowering Dek. On this, Dek uses his mind and uses the spaceship to blow the surrounding soil into the air. As soon as the soil scatters in the air, when soil lands on him, Dek can now clearly see his father. Taking the opportunity, Dek attacks him and cuts off Nzor's hand, the same way Nzor had cut off his brother's hand. After this, Dek captures Nzor the same way he was captured. Seeing death before him, Nzor apologizes and offers Dek to be part of his tribe again. But Dek says, "I don't need your tribe anymore. I have my own tribe now." Hearing this, Bud comes from behind and eats Nzor's head. Here we see that Bud has now become quite big and powerful. Then Thea also arrives. After this, Dek keeps the invisibility power from his father's cut hand for himself. Meaning, now Dek could become invisible whenever he wanted. But then a spaceship starts arriving there. Seeing it, Dek gets a bit scared. When Thea asks, Dek says that it's my mother's spaceship. Now the question arises, why has Dek's mother come here, and is a new trouble coming for Dek? We'll get answers to all these questions in the next part of this. When this next part will come is not clear yet, but if you want me to explain it on the channel as soon as the next part comes out, then definitely let me know in the comments. And if you like the video, then like it and create hype for the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll meet with another video. Till then, thanks for watching.